Good evening, everyone. We are all set for what is going to be another crackling quarterfinal. For everyone who have got their eyes glued onto the screens, you can see the picturesque scenes of Swarnim Gujarat Sports University. This is quarterfinal number 3, and this clash is between FC Thyristor Ramlan Benglai taking on Electric Veng Futsal Club. Both the teams, they have really put up quite a show until now and will be hopeful of putting forward their best foot as semi-final expected. Where you can see the practice scenes, the warm-up scenes of FC Thyristor, Ramlan Benglai, the way they won their last game to qualify for this for the quarterfinals. And I reckon it goes without saying that they will be pushing hard for the grand semis. And this is how the Electric Veng Futsal Club warmed up. An important fixture coming up. It goes without saying that they also had their priorities sorted, had quite a run in the group stages before they finally arrived in the knockouts. They have so far played an electric brand of futsal. Well, that's a starting five for FC Thyristor Ramlan Benglai. They've got R. Lalumpuya, their captain. Titia is not leading the side today. Then they've got Lalumpuya, C. Lalrim Luata under the sticks, and Lalmangaiya. On the bench, they have got Vincent, they have got Peter Lalrin Lua, K. Rolua Puya or K. Mama, David Van Lal Ruata, PC Lalrim Ruata, and Jonathan Van Lal Vinunga. The head coach is Van Lal Chuanga, who has done a sensational job with the youngsters. That's a starting five for Electric Veng Futsal Club. They have got Van Lal Ruaya under the stakes, Lal Sampuia, Lalrin Sanga Kolring, their captain, Lalrin Zuala, and Lalrim Tulunga. On the bench, they have got Lalun Puia, Lal Takima, VL Rindika, their goalkeeper, Lalim Puia, Lal Tankima, Isaac Lal Ruaizela, Ronnie C. Lalan Kima, C. Lal Chanchuaha, and Lal Rosanga. And their head coach is Lal Limpuia. And so far, if you take a look at the team comparisons in the group stages, for Ramlan Venglai, they have played 4 matches, scored 25 goals, secured 9 points, 3 victories, and 1 defeat. For Electric Veng Futsal Club, they have played 4 matches, scored 21 goals, 7 points, 2 victories, 1 draw, and 1 defeat. Which means both the teams, they have been pretty neck to neck so far. And given the fact that this is the third quarter final, just to give you all a quick heads up about the scores of the first 2 quarterfinals which were played. The first quarterfinal was between Corbett FC and Delhi Football Club, where Corbett FC sailed hammer and tongs to the semi-finals, beating Delhi Football Club 11-1 in the second quarterfinal. Rather, apologies for that. It's Amberlin Sports Club who went on to beat Minerva Football Academy by 8 goals to 2. Now with 12 goals in the first quarterfinals, 10 goals in the second, it goes without saying the fans would be hoping that this is going to be another electric clash. And once again, the expectation of goals, they are going to be sky high, they're going to be exorbitant. So yes, obviously a lot will rely on these youngsters. Brace yourselves, everyone who are now on the screens, but now watching this game from anywhere in the world. Once again, a warm welcome as the players make their way to the center stage, preceded by the match officials. And quick glimpse at the match officials who will be officiating this contest. The referee for the day is Vishal Mahendrabhai Vaja. Referee number 2 is Pratik Bhapchubhai Pengol. The third referee is Surendran K. And the timekeeper is going to be Vishal Kumar. And the last bout of pleasantries are being exchanged, because after this, what is going to follow is absolute rampage from both the sides. And the two captains, as expected, leading, well, once again, the confirmation of the match referees who will be playing a key role in today's fixture. And of course, given the fact that this is a quarter final, it goes without saying that all of them are going to be very, very important. Sandesh Sudhir Gatkari is the match commissioner, who's been doing a phenomenal job so far. And it's going to be me, Rohit, who will be taking you through this fixture. Attacking on your frame from the left to the right in their signature whites are the FC Thyristor Ramlun Venglai club. Attacking on your frame from the right to the left in their signature blue and black is Electric Veng Futsal club. And so far, the kind of displays that they have knitted in the group stages, you can very well call this a clash of the titans. A few last minute prayers are being offered, a few last minute words are being said. You know, that's kind of a ritual, that's kind of a tradition that all the players like to follow. And I think the game starts at 5, so at the moment we still have a couple of minutes before the players kick off. So we'll wait for action to take center stage. And here we roll, getting us underway here at the Swarnim Gujarat Sports University for the third quarter final. Is attacking on your frame from the left is Electric Veng Futsal Club. But eventually the possession has fallen very quickly back to Ramlun Venglai, who tries to switch things straight away from the left, and it's Titia out in the center. Just twisting and turning around, gets it on to the captain there, Laloma. Laloma keeping it under control at the moment, but the ball has fallen back for Electric Veng Futsal Club. They have a shooting chance, takes one, but he's dragged it wide. Could have been an excellent opportunity to try and finish to get that early lead in place. Good looking chance, and it was none other than Sompuya rather, with the shot, with that early strike. Kicking for Thyristor Ramlun Venglai. They are going to take their time at the moment. Tikia gets it in. Well, it looks like there was a bit of clip there, which was right beneath the eyes of the referee, and the referee blowing the whistle, laying down the law there. It's going to be another kick in, to be honest. Gentle chip into the box there from Lalrit Sangha. Plays it all the way back to their goalkeeper, Kunal Silo. Kunal plays it further forward. And I reckon he's got a bit too acute on that occasion. The angle was difficult and there wasn't any support. We all know that the defense of Ramlun Venglai is extremely resolute. So you cannot just allow them even a second. You give them that second and they'll snatch the ball away from you. There's an opportunity though. Goes out to play again at the moment. Kick in for Ramlun Venglai. They've got Lalampuya. Will be taking his time. Lalampuya takes it quickly though. That's a lovely setup there, and a shot comes in as well. Lalumpuya lining himself up. There was space ahead of him, and then lets one fly. Just to give you all a quick heads up, they've got a couple of players who have so far been extremely instrumental in the tournament. The likes of Vincent, the likes of Peter Lalnindrua, and do not forget K Mama. K Mama is one of the leading scorers of the tournament so far. So obviously it's going to be intriguing to see when does K Mama comes in. If you remember the last clash against the likes of Satvi Football Club, then you would possibly remember the kind of destruction, the kind of rampage that K Mama brought. They were trailing by a goal, but then once K Mama was in the mix, was in the thick of things, he went on to score 4 goals back to back, and that laid rest to their counterparts. That was the setting of something incredible. That was the setting of absolute frenzy altogether from FC Thyristor Veng. But then again, with everything being said, I think when in sports and athletics, every single time you watch a new game, the entire calculations change. It's like you start from the scratch. No matter how good you have been, no matter how big of a Goliath you have been, at the end of the day, it's all about starting on cleaner slates, starting on equal notes. Eventually, it's the match, it's the progression of the game that determines the fate of the contest. The passes now played onto the far left, and Veng keeps things under control. Couple of step overs, now goes forward onto the far right, tries to keep that in play, but I reckon there was a bit of a heavy touch on that occasion. It was a Lalnindrua who couldn't keep things under control. That's a brilliant setup, shot comes in, and that's the opening goal as well. Electric Veng Futsal Club has eventually taken the lead. It's Lalrem Tulunga with the finish, a thunderous one indeed. Wonderfully set up right at his feet. He had shooting space ahead of him, and he rifles that. No chance for Lalrem Ruata. Thunderous conclusion to what was an extremely effusive move there. Then again, to be honest, so far FC Thyristor Veng, they are known for coming back. The last game they did it, and they do it in this game as well. You never know. I think futsal, it's such a closely contested game. It's such a fast game. The way momentum can change, and that's the confirmation. Lalrem Tulunga with a terrific finish to draw first blood for Electric Veng Futsal Club. Now this is where the game changed in the last fixture as well, that was played by FC Thyristor, because they initially were extremely crammed and they were kind of cooped up in their own box. But then eventually, once they conceded against Satvi Football Club, that is when things took, or apologies, it wasn't, oh, that was another lovely chance. Good save by Lalrem Ruata. Quick apologies, it was not Satvi Football Club, rather it was Baroda Football Academy. Once they conceded, that is when they opened up, that is when they started getting a lot more expressive out in the midfield. This is another brilliant setup. 2v1 opportunity, goal scoring chance, takes a lovely inside cut. But then again, I reckon there was a bit too much. The angle was slightly difficult. It was Lalrem Tulunga again. Yeah, it looked like there wasn't any touch from the goalkeeper, Lalrem Ruata. For the time being though, there's danger looming large at the other end. It was a fine setup, and it was the captain of FC Thyristor Veng, Lalumpuya, with a gilt-edged opportunity, but I reckon it wasn't the easiest of chances as well. He had to get that touch to perfection. Knowing Thyristor, they are capable of pulling off those movements, those opportunities. They are capable of putting things to bed. There's another fine setup, but then they do well enough. And this can be an opportunity, but it looks like possession has fallen back for Electric Veng. Intercepted in between by Ramlun Venglai. Ramlun Venglai now trying to set up one. Here's Lalumpuya once again, or Lalumpuya to be precise. They're looking for shooting space, plays it back again. Steers it towards the far right to their captain. And he does well enough to go forward, but it looked like he lost his balance on that one, lost his shape, and eventually took a tumble. For a moment, it felt like that there was a trip from the back, and I think the referee just calling over the captain of Electric Veng Futsal Club, Lalrin Sanga, and just explaining to calm the tempers down. That's a brilliant delivery and an excellent receive as well. Does well to eventually create space for him. But you know, when you go outside, when you go towards that outside arc, you're trying to create that outside dodge. The angle's slightly difficult. This can be a brilliant setup as well. Incredible chance, and somehow it still doesn't go in. What an opportunity. And it is K Mama who's already on the pitch, realizing the urgency of scoring the equalizer. Takes a shot, but a sensational save there from Bandal Ruaya or Kunal Silo. That's going to be a kick, and that's going to be a goal kick at the moment for Electric Veng Futsal Club. They eventually get one long throw in the mix, which eludes everyone in the process and results in another kick in. Straight to the goalkeeper once again. A very gentle push, nothing substantial, nothing meaty for the referee to take a call on that one. Dia with the kick in for FC Thyristor. A nice ball forward. That has to be a foul. I think that was caught on the camera. He's almost yanked his t-shirt from behind. No questions asked. Thankfully, no cards came out. Definitely a verbal warning would be coming in. Another gentle ball forward. Tries to receive that. But snatched away. Quickly taken again by Electric Veng Futsal Club at the moment. There's an opportunity once again. They're coming in from the left. The question obviously remains, was there anything? Well, while we were gone out, just to give you all a quick heads up, an equalizer was scored. I think there was a bit of technical gremlin that we had to brave, and confirming a quick confirmation, FC Thyristor have restored parity. Well, we are back once again. Apologies for technical gremlins out there. Just to give you all a quick heads up, I think it's once again the one and only Mama, and that's a confirmation of the goal. That's a replay of the goal. Fine finish, an electric one altogether. And this is why you can never really write them off. It's Lalrin Loa with the equalizer for FC Thyristor, and it goes out of play. As things stand at the moment, it's all fair and square at the Swarnim Gujarat Sports University, Vadodara. Both the teams, it was Electric Veng Futsal Club who secured the early lead. And then Lalrin Loa eventually restoring parity. That's another incredible setup. Could have been a venomous opportunity only if they would have latched onto it. They came mighty close to scoring once again. And somehow or the other, the pass had a bit more venom, a bit more weight. That eludes everyone as well. 13 minutes already, or rather 7 minutes already about to elapse so far in this first half. And as things stand at the moment, both the teams, they have really fought it out. They have matched each other rounds for rounds. Here's an opportunity once again for Electric Veng Futsal Club. Tries to release that player on the far right. It was an excellent delivery, to be honest. It possibly was Lalro Sanga who was at the receiving end but couldn't really make the most of it. And that's good work altogether. Plays it on to the far right. Could have been better. When you have scored a goal already, see Lalrin Lua, you are expected to go ahead and control the ball in much better manner. The confidence is supposed to be sky high. Lalrem Ruata gets the ball back in the box. A gentle push. Takes care of it. And now, FC Thyristor on the prowl. Has a lot of shooting space ahead of them. Takes one. And an excellent save once again by the goalkeeper. Vanlal Ruaya standing tall there. Not the easiest of saves, and I think it should have been better, to be honest. It was Lalrin Lua once again. Once he scored. Now this is one good thing about FC Thyristor. The player who opens the scoring, I think they're always looking for more goals. They're always looking for finishing the opportunities that fall at their feet. They just have to keep on looking around. That's all that matters. You keep your guards up high, you keep your eyes up high, and you just need to have those predatory instincts on display. Now that's decent defending, to be honest, as well. Not really allowing the kind of space that Electric Veng Futsal Club will really like in their favour. It's going to be a kick-in for them, however. Lalrin Zuala sends it into the circle, but they have lost the ball. And here comes FC Thyristor once again, another shooting chance. And drags it wide from almost handshaking distance, to be honest. At the moment, Electric Veng Futsal Club is suddenly under the pump. They started on a feisty note. We mentioned this before, that once FC Thyristor concedes, then it turns into a completely different gravy for them. It feels like conceding that opening goal kind of activates a different enigma, a different charisma altogether. That's another brilliant setup. Titia onto the far right, trying to nutmeg his counterpart, but now Electric Veng Futsal Club are on the break, trying to go for a shot at the far right, but then eventually has been dispossessed. It is C Mama coming to the relevance. Once again, and this is Ramlon Venglai goes for the shot. That was a fine effort once again. Did try and convert one. It was Keroluapuya K Mama, who is one of the leading goal scorers, has got 9 goals in the tournament so far. Will definitely hope to add more to his tally and help his team. That's another fine chip. And I think that's fearless goalkeeping as well from Lalrem Ruata. Not even caring for the fact that what can be the consequences, because there was a bit of high boot involved at the end of the day. But then it is Lalrem Ruata's fearless goalkeeping that gets the job done on that occasion. He pared down the angle to almost a bare minimum. It's a free kick right now for Ramlon Venglai once again. It is Lalom Puya. And that's Banlal Chuanga. He's done an incredible bit of work with these youngsters, with the boys. And they have been learning from the very best. That's good interception. But the second ball falls back for Ramlon Venglai. Another shooting chance, takes one straight to the goalkeeper this time. It's a positioning of Kunal Silo that does the trick for Electric Veng Futsal Club as their citadel remains intact. It has been sullied, it has fallen once, but Kunal Silo keeps on defending fiercely, and I think that's what you really love to witness. back to Electric Veng again. Electric Veng goes for a long chip. Nicely received. Now just tries to penetrate that gap. But this means it's only going to be another chance. Oh, that's a poor giveaway. Goal scoring chance, and somehow, despite getting the goalkeeper off his scent, K. Mama couldn't convert that one. Ideally, you would expect someone like Mama, who scored 9 goals so far, to get them in position, get them inside the back of the net. But then I think that advancement from the goalkeeper, from Varnal Ruaya, making the angle difficult and eventually forcing K. Mama to take a very hasty shot, which kind of took the edge away from him. And here's Electric Veng once again. And there's another brilliant trip, but it was going away. A quick acknowledgement from the player at the receiving end as well, Titia, who played a pivotal role in the last game, has not been handed over the captaincy of the team today, but then definitely started. Oh, that's an electric finish from Electric Veng Futsal Club. That's what you call predatory instincts being at their pinnacle. And who else than Lalrim Tulunga once again to get the ball into the back of the net with a gentle tap, with a timely tap between two defenders and the goalkeeper in position. Look at this one. It was all that it took was a feather touch. We talk about being opportunistic. We talk about spotting out the chances in futsal. And I think that goal was a sheer example. That goal was an exemplar of simply being opportunistic. Terrific finish for Electric Veng Futsal Club as they have their noses ahead in this game once again. And they now knock on the doors, but I think at the moment the numerical superiority in the defense of FC Thyristor Ramlun Venglai will kind of force them out of possession. That's a confirmation. Lalrem Kalunga with the finish for the second time. That's his brace as his team once again go ahead in this fixture. 10 minutes remaining in this first half. Yeah, that was another breakthrough there, but this time Lalrem Ruaka had his eyes open, had his guards up. And that's an excellent snatch there. One-on-one situation! Goal number 3! Electric Veng Futsal Club. 2 chances, and 2 chances butted in quick succession. And registering his hat-trick is Lalrem Tulunga. What a terrific finish. A snatch, a glorious snatch. Knew that he had Lalrem Ruata off his line. All he had to do was place it to perfection. And he will not miss from the firing line. Now this is where it gets exciting. This is where it gets intriguing. Once again, another incredible snatch there from Electric Veng Futsal Club. I think they've been so good in the midfield. They had a momentary lapse of concentration. Well, thank you everyone for bearing with us. We are back once again, and at the moment there was a timeout which was being enforced in play. 8.5 minutes to go in the first half, and the scoreline still remains same. Electric Veng Futsal Club got a 3-1 cushion. Now that's a lovely bit of snatch from FC Thyristor. Has a bit of shooting space ahead, but has been denied entrance. A slightly overpowered pass. Won't really change much. 8 minutes to go yet. There's an opportunity now at the moment for Electric Bank Futsal Club. And I think so far that brief storm that they cooked up, that kind of did the trick. They got those three quick goals, and I think that was the game changer. But yes, there's still a lot of time remaining. I think 20 minutes in the second half, 7 minutes to go, and if FC Thyristor is able to get a second goal here, I think it's pretty much going to be extremely cut and run from here on. It's all about getting that second goal because for FC Thyristor, because that kind of compels a break in the momentum. Once the momentum shifts, once it shuffles, that is when the times can change. That is when things can change. A good ball forward, an opportunity, and now they're trying to keep things in the left. Peter trying to tee off his teammate for that one, but then it was slightly overpowered. Kick in once again for Electric Veng Futsal Club. And it's once again the man who scored the hat trick so far, Lalrem Tulunga. He's everywhere. And I think that's what futsal is all about. And we are back once again, and I think it has been a pretty tough day in terms of our power issues and things. Quite a few technical challenges that are being braved. And while we were away, we were talking about that all-important second goal. FC Thyristor, Ramlo and Veng, they have managed to get that second goal in place. Yeah, and now I think this game's a lot more open. This game's a lot more closely closely contested battle. Now both the teams will be pushing hard. Electric Veng Futsal Club, they will be hoping to get that all-important fourth goal, restore their lead, restore that two-goal cushion that they had. For FC Thyristor, Ramlon Vengai, it goes without saying that they will be hoping forward. They will be hoping to restore parity. And if they are able to do that, that will be quite a turnaround. And no wonder that is why we said that this is a clash of two titans. This is a clash where two teams with absolutely the finest set of players are locking horns with each other. 3 minutes, 47 seconds to go so far in the first half, and as things stand at the moment, both the teams, they've really fought well enough. This can be a chance for Electric Veng Futsal Club. Well, there goes aside, creates a bit of space ahead of them, but I reckon he went underneath the ball, gave it a bit too much elevation than he would have liked for the shot to. Once again, a look at that second goal. That was a terrific and electric finish altogether. Kept his calm, kept his nerves under the pressure, under the pump, and then just tapped it home, seeing the goalkeeper, beyond the goalkeeper, and it was none other than Vincent with that second goal. Now, this is a very close, contested battle. Push there, but Electric Veng Futsal Club does well to regain possession. Onto the far right, goes for the shot, but that kind of an angle usually will not favor you unless the shot has got venomous power and it's goal bound. It wasn't goal bound. That's good goalkeeping as well from Lalrem Roata. Keeps his guards up high, keeps on denying the opposition. Trades it away for another corner. Here's a chance, a bit of a clip as well. And now eventually rolling it quickly onto the ground there. This is another chance, another opportunity. And that has been denied. That was a very gentle tap. I think with the goalkeeper off the line, it should have been converted. Lalring Sanga Kolring, the captain. And it's another timeout that has been announced. And as the players take another quick and a brief break, we'll be back. Stay tuned, everyone. Players are back again. It's now time for them. That's another gentle header. But that was definitely not on target. Sends the ball rolling forward. This has been quite an eventful half of futsal so far. Both the teams is trying to slow things down at the moment. Lalrem Rewata with a bit of a push out there from the back, and the referee blowing the whistle. Not really happy at the moment, Vincent. Oh, there's a shot there from Electric Veng Futsal Club. Could have been danger looming large on the horizon. But that has been traded away once again. It was a fine strike, to be honest, from Lalta Kima. But then they had Lalrem Ruata under the sticks to deny that. And here comes FC Thyristor trying to figure out an opening. Played all the way back. Now Peter on the ball. Peter hits it forward. Peter to Vincent. Vincent was the one who scored that second goal. And Vanlal Chuanga, always active, always animated, always involved in the thing. As a coach, when you are very involved in the game, this kind of also gives your team that additional edge. There's an opportunity, goes for the shot there, takes a deflection along the way, and it has been traded away for a corner. Electric Veng Futsal Club has another opportunity to try and get that all-important fourth goal, get that cushion for themselves. Fine ball forward. The gentle push there, but it won't really matter. Back to Electric Veng Futsal Club once again as they try and steer it from the left. Tries to create a chance. The idea was right. The desperation was visible. Lalta Kima once again. That was a very good move, to be honest. But then at the end of the day, it wasn't enough. The space wasn't enough. He was kind of pushed to the fringes of the playing court. And now here comes Ramlun Penglai. That's a bit of a fine bit of work here. This can be another goal scoring chance. Peter, his way was blocked altogether. He ran into a cul-de-sac that was manned by not one but two defenders from the Electric Veng Futsal Club. And I think that is why we say that this has been one of the finest contests so far. Nicely kept in play. Nobody was there. Someone was just flashing around in the face of the goal. Could have been goal number 3 as well for FC Thyristor. Here they come, knocking on the doors again. Goes for the shot, but drills it wide. What a chance again. And this time it was none other than Vincent looking for his brace, looking for the all-important equalizer for his team. That's a gentle chip forward. That's a fine ball. Vincent again. Vincent sets it up. Nicely received. Peter had a golden opportunity, but somehow he squanders it. He was kind of bamboozled there with the goalkeeper darting out of his line, closing down the angle. Vincent once again dribbles past and then tries to set it up, but he didn't have enough space, and neither the pass was precise enough. Final minute of the first half in motion. That's an exquisite bit of run. That has to be a free kick. Lalampuya kind of penning some exquisite art out there in the center of the court. That was absolutely brilliant, but then again, Lalrem Tulunga understanding that he had to take action. Otherwise, it could have been cataclysmic for his team. Once the player gets in that inside dodge, gets that ball onto his stronger foot, I think it kind of opens up a Pandora's box with the shooting line, with the firing line coming alive. And the two players, Lalampoya obviously, and Peter Lalrin Lua, they're discussing it amongst themselves before the free kick is taken, I reckon. Just a gentle wipe just to ensure the fact that there's no bit of moisture on the court, because if that is out there, then the players tend to slip, and given the fact that this is not a green grass patch, if you fall hard enough, it will hurt you, and it's going to be agonizing. Here they come. A gentle ball forward, opportunity. The idea was right. They were trying to eye for the far post, but then again the shot was kind of emasculated, and also the player who was at the receiving end of it couldn't really do much with the ball taking a different direction. 37 seconds on the clock now, more to go, and that will see the end of the first half, which has been quite a prolonged one, to be honest. Here's Vincent again. Vincent looking for space, and that has been cleared away at the expense of a corner. under the keen eyes of Sibanlal Chwanga. I think he knows the importance of all these set pieces. He knows the importance of all these crucial seconds of the game. And there's the other coach, Lalimpuia. Lalimpuia, he's done an absolutely brilliant job as well. Electric Veng Futsal Club, the way they have delivered the payload, the way they have fared under pressure, I think it's just incredible to watch. Another long throw, and that will go out of play. And I think the ball kind of popping out of action quite a lot more than it is in play, than the time the ball is being taken care of. Again, a pretty haywire shot. And I think at the moment exhaustion is also setting in. Now, once exhaustion sets in, you'd see a lot of stoppages, you'd see a lot of haywire, awry deliveries. Good defending there. And with this, we'll come to the end of the first half. And as things stand, it was extremely close. It was almost cut and run, neck to neck. Then at the moment, as the scoreline suggests, Electric Veng Futsal Club has the slender lead in their advantage. Riding on Lalrem Tulunga's hat-trick, they have a 3-2 cushion. FC Thyristor Ramlun Venglai has found themselves coming back in the game through C. Lalren Lua and Lalchuan Zella. But yet a long way to go. A quick look at the highlights, that is how it all started. That was the opening goal. Lalrem Ruata did get a hand to it, but it wasn't enough because the shot had power, the shot had sting, and all the juice that was expected as the ball bombed into the back of the net. And then they kept on knocking on the doors time and time again. Good goalkeeping from Lalrem Ruata denied them entrance, denied them a free pass to glory. And then coming back strongly enough, FC Thyristor Ramlon Venglai, they also started hitting the oppositions where it mattered the most. That was the equalizer through the legs of the goalkeeper. As clinical, as precise as it gets, absolutely brilliant, sensational. And then another opportunity, but rattled the woodwork. Had that gone in, it would have been all fair and square at the end of the first half. And then out of nowhere, against the turn of the play, coming to life, bursting to life, was Electric Veng Futsal Club. They looked menacing, they looked extremely dangerous, and they once again priced out 2 quick goals to grab the momentum by its horns. And who else than this man? Just sensational over and over again. Fine finishes. And then we had a bit of technical gremlins as well, kind of setting an unwanted precedent for all of us. Then, as destiny would have it, FC Thyristor Ramlun Venglai, they were not giving in so easily. They were not capitulating. It was Vincent who saw the goalkeeper out of his line by a proverbial mile and gently tucked it in. A good save from Lalrem Ruata as well. That was the foul. Decent bit of football from Lalampuya, but then he was swept off his feet. And at the end of the first half, that's the stats. FC Thyristor Ramlun Venglai 2, Electric Veng Futsal Club 3. 48% ball possession for Thyristor, 52 for Electric Veng Football Club. 12 shots for both the sides, 4 shots on target for FC Thyristor, 5 for Electric Veng. And both the goalkeeper pulling off 2 saves each, 3 corners each for both the sides. And these stats were brought to you by Sports KPI. We'll now dive into a short breather and return with the second half of the contest. Stay tuned, everyone. Welcome back, everyone. We are once again up and running for the second half of the contest. It was a dramatic first half, an eventful one where goals were being scored in a flurry. 5 goals have been scored so far, and both the teams will be hoping for another crackling half of futsal. As the game's about to kick off, and we are finally underway. Just to give you all a quick heads up, attacking on your frame from the right to the left in their whites is FC Thyristor Ramlun Venglai Football Club, and attacking on your frame from the left to the right in their blues and blacks is Electric Veng Futsal Club. And for everyone glued to the screens right now, just to give you all a quick heads up about the numbers of both the sides in the group stages. FC Thyristor, they played 4 matches, scored 25 goals, 3 victories for them out of the 4, and secured 9 points. For Electric Veng Futsal Club, they played 4 matches, secured 2 wins, drew 1 and lost 1. They scored 21 goals. It just tells you that both these teams have been pretty even Stevens in terms of their group numbers, not too far away from each other. Also, just to give you all a brief glimpse, a sneak peek into the top goal scorers so far. PC Lalruatsanga from Corbett FC currently leading the charts with 14 goals. And next in the line is Stephen Satarkar from Golazo Football Club with 10 goals to his name. Then there's Nikhilayappa Nunna of the Bangalore Arrows and K. Roluapuya or K. Mama of Thyristor Ramlun Venglai with 9 goals apiece. And then Ibrahim Ali of Speed Force with 8 goals. And as you know, this is the third quarterfinal going on. The first quarterfinal was between Corbett FC and Delhi Football Club. It's an opportunity altogether for Electric Veng Futsal Club, but good goalkeeping once again eventually keeps things at bay. And yes, that's and the confirmation of the first quarterfinal results. Corbett FC booking their semi-final berth with the 11-1 victory over Delhi Football Club, wherein Amberlin Sports Club sailing hammer and tongs to the semis as well, winning the game by 8-2. Well, that looks like a foul at the moment. I think he was a bit too fast for the players to get or to snatch the ball. Yeah, that clearly was a foul. And who else than the man who's netted the hat-trick? Lalem Tulunga. Quickly taken, shot comes in, opportunity, but not on target. Electric Veng Futsal Club. I think this is a spell of the play that they will have to be very, very careful about, because you never know when the game can change. And one particular thing about FC Veng Futsal, Electric Veng Futsal Club rather, is that they have isolated patches in the game, isolated patches of excellence. Once they start calling the shots, well, this is another brilliant chance, and somehow or the other that doesn't go in. That was a terrific opportunity. What a brilliant pass and creation from Lalrem Tulunga. But then the captain, Lalrin Sanga Kolring, couldn't really steer it into the back of the net. Could have been a thumping finish, could have been that 4th goal. Now a quick word there between Kunal Silo. Oh, opportunity! Rattles the woodwork. Well, it looks like we are in a boiling cauldron of exciting events, and we are just warming up. What an incredible pass from K. Mama, and then it was Lalom Puya at the receiving end, tried to sneak one. Then the ball had a bit too much elevation, rattled the woodwork. Another long ball, but straight to the goalkeeper there. Well, that's a good snatch by the books. Opportunity. Well, that was squandered away. Going for glory, selfish enough. If you would have found the player who was out there on the far right, look at this chance. It was K. Mama. Now he has scored from this range before, and he had the goalkeeper in his sight as well. But there was a player who was stationed in the central channel. In all likelihood, it was Lalompoya. And I think Banlal Chuanga, he's not happy with what he just witnessed, because that very well could have been the equalizer. Looks like it's a kick in. Titia takes it quickly. And that should be a foul. I think both the players, the intentions were clear. They were going for the ball and acknowledging that quickly enough, because at times there are things that you have to do which you don't want to in terms of a contact, in terms of a body contact game. A few fouls are kind of unfortunate, unexpected. Then you have to take one for the team. Titia with the free kick. Titia takes one. Good save there by the goalkeeper of Electric Veng Futsal Club, Kunal Silo. Short passes, Electric Veng Futsal Club trying to keep things under control at the moment. Sompuya plays it back. It was Lalram Pulunga a few moments ago. This can be another opportunity. That should be a free kick. Has to be a free kick. And it is Lalram Tulunga once again at the receiving end. And I think the yellow card's about to come out. That doesn't really look good. That definitely doesn't look good. Yeah, that was a bad challenge, to be honest, from Lalompoya. I think the first one was okay, but the second one, that was kind of a precautionary measure. A gilt-edged chance at the moment for Electric Veng Futsal Club to make it 4-2 and get that added advantage. There they come with the shot, but has been denied. Gentle shoot forward. Yeah, that should be a foul. Yes, the referee did spot it, delayed, and I think now it's turning slightly physical at the moment. It was the captain of Electric Veng Futsal Club, Lalrin Sanga Kolring, and I think at the moment it feels like FC Thyristor Ramlun Venglai. Yeah, that was so uncalled for. It was pretty substantial, and once again, it is Lalompoya who went into the books a few moments ago. He has to be careful now, because in futsal, if you get ejected, then your team will have to bear the brunt for the rest of the game. It can be quite a punishing affair altogether. Here's a chance. We'll wait at the moment. And off we go. Takes one, well blocked away by the defenders, by the wall in place. Great opportunity, to be honest. And now FC Thyristor trying to snatch the ball away, trying to create that opening for themselves. But at the moment, ever since the second half has started, I think there have been too many stoppages. But truth be told, FC Thyristor, they really do not look like they are in control of this game. At the moment, too many fouls at the moment, just making it a bit too physical. Understandable when your opposition is, well, that's another lovely shot. Incredible opportunity, trying to take one on the side volley. changes at the moment. I think the second half hasn't exactly been effusive enough. It hasn't been the free-flowing brand of futsal that we usually know these two teams to play. And I think at times particularly for FC Thyristor, Ramlon Benglai, what they usually do is, again, they are kind of finding their match in Electric Veng Futsal Club. Both the teams, they almost play a similar gentry of futsal. That's another lovely chance, but it never really looked like that there was much. Already with four fouls, FC Thyristor, Ramlon Benglai, they'll have to be very careful. They cannot afford another foul here. That's another fine ball forward, but then the goalkeeper, Lalrem Rwanda, quick to get off his line and eventually collect that without breaking a sweat. Keeps it under control. And the ball goes out of play. This is a chance for Ramlon Benglai. He wanted to set that up. The idea was right, but the execution was slightly haywire. The chemistry not so good. Here's another shooting chance. Takes one, drags it wide. Well, opportunities galore for sure. In Electric Veng Futsal Club, they are having a lot of free space, a lot of open space ahead of them. And I think that really looks menacing enough. Straight to the goalkeeper now. That's another great chance. And somehow before they could control that, it is Lalrin Zuala who was trying to get hold of it, but eventually realizes that the first touch has been slightly nervy. Back with Electric Veng Futsal Club, not the best of touches. A square pass. Oh, that's excellent. And this time another interception coming in from the right, looking for opportunity. Does well to cut back in sharply. Sets it up onto the far right. Slightly heavy power on the ball there. If that would have been a bit more precise, if the touch would have been a bit more controlled, I think that would have been a better chance. Straight to the pair. Sends it further forward, tries to control that. There's an opportunity, great chance. But then again, a crucial intervention from Van Lal Ruwaya of Kunal Silo. I mean, that's his just Honduras altogether. Takes a shot, but once again off target. And I think at the moment, Electric Veng Futsal Club don't really mind the shots. They are okay with them till the time they are not converging upon the goal mark. Lalrin Zuala. Here's a chance. Sets it up onto the right. Tries to get that cross in. Lalrem Tulunga. But then he had to rush. He was slightly late in releasing the ball. Possession falls back. And now trying to chase that. Trying to speed past his marker. Only for the ball to go out of play. Not much to talk about for that. I think definitely this man, Lal Limpuya, I think for him it's also a very, very tough call because he knows that all these moments, there's 14 minutes to go in the second half, and all these 14 minutes, they are going to be of significant importance because if they are unable to find that opening, if they are unable to find that fourth goal, I think till the very end they will be on their seat's edge. They will be fighting a cliffhanger altogether. Which they will not like, definitely. They will like that insurance goal. They like to create a bit of breathing space. Oh, that's a lovely ball through the gates, but excellent goalkeeping. Had it not been for an advancing Lalrem Ruata, could have been trouble. Once again, shot comes in. hammers the woodwork and goes out. Electric Veng Futsal Club. They are absolute mean machines here. It seems like their firing system is right on the mark, is right on the money. And they mean goals, they mean business, they mean the semi-final berth. They are hungry, they are passionate, and they are putting their best foot forward. Plays it back to Kunal. Intercepted now. Intercepted by Electric Veng Futsal Club as well. And a gentle chip forward. Can they control that though? They do. Sets it up into the central channel. Intercepted. Great opportunity. Does well. Very good defending. Had it not been for that defensive maneuver, that would have definitely gone out. In what could have been another incredible chance. The arrival of Guinea, that is PC Lalren Ruata, it looks like it kind of is changing the game's momentum. Because to be honest, as so far we have seen at the moment, FC Thyristor, they need someone who can actually play the fulcrum at the back, who can play that nucleus, control the ball, and then eventually twist and turn and create those chances. Now that's good understanding, very good understanding between the defenders and the goalkeeper. It may look easy because you have to be extremely opportune. You have to look for your chances, and every single window of clearance has to be taken, and that was taken well enough. Yeah, shot taken, but not really powerful enough. Plays it all the way back. And here they come down through that left wing. Takes a shot. It was a delicate one. The idea was to try and set up the player who was right in front. Yeah, look at this once again. That's a brilliant pass. Would have been an absolute heartbreak altogether. Lalnun Puia was at the receiving end. Couldn't really reach out. Vincent trying to gesture the goalkeeper, go for the long ball. Let me try and take a chance. Another ball forward, and that's gone out of play. Lalrenzuala takes it quickly, but he has lost possession. Tetia on the ball. Tetia wanted to chip that forward. That definitely didn't make Lal Chuanga happy enough. Lal Chuanga happy enough. He laid an agonizing scream of frustration there. And I think FC Thyristor, they are kind of caught all together. They are caught in a knot, in an almost undoable knot. They've committed 4 fouls as well. A long ranger comes in from the goalkeeper, straight into the safe hands of Lalren Ruata. Back to FC Thyristor once again. Goes for the shot there. The goalkeeper was off his mark. It was PC Lalren Ruata. We have been talking about him. His arrival out as the focal point of the midfield for FC Thyristor Ramlun Venglai. He was the one who actually created space for himself before unloading that effort. Takes another gentle shot, but well blocked there. And I think once again the ball going out of play. Now that isn't, now to be honest, with stock clock being the time measurement, being the time yardstick for futsal, it's not lost time, but what it does is it just breaks the momentum. Every single time the ball is going out in your own half, you have to come back, fetch it. So it's like you're dropping momentum, you're dropping speed, particularly when you are a team like FC Thyristor Ramlun Venglai. You kind of bank upon the speed. Now when you lose momentum, when you lose speed, it leaves you pretty clueless, to be honest. Then you have to rebuild. Well, that's another incredible chance and an excellent block as well. Kunal continues to be the unreachable ball under the sticks so far for Electric Veng Futsal Club. The second half hasn't really proved him much, but with every passing second it looks like Ramlun Venglai are looking for chances. That was another brilliant save out of nowhere, like a bolt from the Blues. They just went forward, they just unloaded a shot which needed some saving, to be honest. that will go out of play. Now this is some terrific futsal that we are seeing in action from both the teams. Both the teams are extremely opportunistic. Both the teams are pretty fast enough, likes to play a high-octane brand of futsal altogether. Yeah, does well, tries to control that one. A bit of tussle altogether. Vincent eventually will be winning the possession for his team. But the resultant ball all the way back to Kunal there. Kunal happy to just pick it up and gun it back in. Does well, tries to be at the receiving end. Vincent there, but once again, airtight defending altogether from Electric Veng Futsal Club. From the left now, looking for options. That's an incredible setup, but I think it's gone a bit too far away. Landon Kuya eventually garners it, and now they have lost possession. This can be the equalizer chance here. That is sensational goalkeeping, to be honest, from Kunal Silo. The way he stepped out of his bounds, the way he threw his body on the line, you won't see a better save than that. This can be another equalizing opportunity, and somehow Vincent fails to clear. Somehow Vincent fails to cross the unbreachable stature of Kunal. He continues to hold his fort. He continues to defend. He continues to throw his body on the line. Class, absolute class from the custodian of Electric Veng Futsal Club. When you have a very slender cushion, you need saves, you need defensive maneuvers like that. Yeah, there was a bit of handball involved. Let's take a look at this one. Yes, Satipia, he defended well enough. The ball was bobbling. It took a touch off the player's hand. That's another fine setup onto the right, and that has been rifled into the bottom left corner. The sensational finish, and Electric Veng Futsal Club will have to bite the dust this time. For FC Thyristor, Ramlun Venglaya back. What an absolute bullet driven into the net. Who else than K Mama? When your team's trailing, you will need your best player to step forward. And he does. And he does in style. All the resistance, all the resilience, all the resurgence has somehow now found an unexpected halt altogether, a screeching one. And here comes Electric Veng Futsal Club once again from the right. They are not going to give in that easily. There's still time for them. That will go on. 8.5 minutes to go. Nice ball forward. Keeps it under control. It's a fine ball forward. Goal scoring chance. Oh, what a save there from Lalrem Ruata. And I think it wasn't the best of executions either. He was a bit too in a rush there. Kind of under the pump. Kind of just thinking, could he just go over the goalkeeper? But the chip not really finding, not really getting the kind of shape that it wanted. Yeah, another handball there, and the referee obliging as well. This time the ball goes out of play as well. As well, that's a brilliant ball. Now points it towards the goal there, but somehow or the other they have managed to get it out. And eventually Peter with a thunderous shot, but then he has to keep it down. He has to go for the goal there. Let's take a look at this one. Oh, it wasn't Peter, rather. Apologies for that. It was David with the shot, with the rebound. It's a fine ball onto the left. Does well there. And this time dispossessed. There'll be a kick in nonetheless. Good work, to be honest, for FC Thyristor. And it's going to be a timeout. The players will take a quick breather. Here we are back once again, kick in at the moment for FC Thyristor Romulan Veng. And it has been intercepted again, but then possession falls back for the men in white. They do well, and now they build from the left. David just trying to sneak one from the left into that central channel. Ends up hitting the blockade. Corner quickly taken. Onto the left, onto the right rather. Mama who scored the equalizer a few moments ago. And now somehow Electric Veng Futsal Club has gone into a kind of shell altogether. Now they are defending a few moments ago. Now this is why we keep on talking that futsal, the game can change very quickly. There will be times where you will have your noses ahead, and unless you have secured a bit of insurance goal for yourselves, Electric Veng Futsal Club takes the shot. Once again goes for that inside cut, but then crucial save from the goalkeeper, Lalduat Fella. And it looks like it's another free kick, which means now it's 4 fouls each. And both the teams stand on the cusp. Yeah, that definitely was a foul. And it is Lalimpuia. That's another fine ball, but it'll go out of play. Now trying to control that at the moment. And well, looks like referee says that was absolutely fine. There's an opportunity. Gets it out of play. Four fouls each, because once that 5th foul happened, then it can be really challenging. Gentle kick forward will go out of play. Another kick in. 6 minutes, close to 6 minutes remaining in the second half. Does well, Lalimpuia, and he's being body shielded extremely well there. And here comes FC Thyristor, goes for the shot, and a great save. An electric save from Vanlal Ruaya. I think both the goalkeepers, they have done an excellent job. Gets it rolling, but gets it rolling by Miles. And a quick look. He's also the coach as well for Electric Veng Futsal Club. That is Lalimpuia. And he's on the field, so he's a coach cum player. He's a forward of the team, and obviously when his team needs goals. Oh, he rammed into the defense there. We'll have to take a look at, the players of the Electric Veng Futsal Club push him, or was there a bit of control being lost? And that's a fifth foul, which has already been committed by Electric Veng Futsal Club. Yeah, the player's absolutely fine. Let's take a quicker look. Oh, yeah, that was intentional. Lalrin Zuala. For a moment, it felt like he's the one who jammed into the defense. But if you take a look at that foul, there was a bit of shoulder shirk altogether, which eventually makes it a foul. I think there is a bit of disagreement, a bit of intransigence from the management, and a yellow card, an unwanted yellow card. They are trailing. In fact, they are not trailing. They are 3-all right now. So I think they'll have to keep their calm. They just cannot go into altercations. It's not, everything's not lost yet. It's understandable. Visibly, you are angry. You are not really liking what, because eventually, when you have a 3-1 lead from there, you concede that. Here's a free kick, however, for Peter. And Peter, Lalrin Loa get themselves ahead. Here comes Peter, jams it against the wall. Now from the far right, not the best of passes. The next goal is going to be crucial, and I think both the teams, they will be hoping that they get that next goal, because whoever gets the next goal, that's it. I mean, they will be the one who will have themselves well and truly in the driver's seat towards the semi-finals. Good snatch for Electric Veng Futsal Club. Lalrem Kulunga! That would have been another fine delivery. And I think the player kind of overran himself. Quickly taken. Does well for that inside dodge, and I think this is one gifted ability of theirs. A flair that screams elegance and brilliance. Another long ball. And desperation to keep it in play. They do keep it in play. And that's a shot. Brilliant save again from Lalrem. Apologies, from Lalrem Ruata. The way he threw his body. Yeah, that's a sensational save indeed. Another corner at the moment for FC Thyristor. Apologies, for Electric Veng Futsal Club. They will be hoping against hope that they are able to sneak one. Quickly taken and driven pretty deep down. Back on the left wing again. And just trying to sneak a shot, but well blocked there by Peter. Quick kick in. And interception again. Poor ball as well. And now on to the far left, trying to control things. Takes an outside dodge, keeps it in place, slightly overpowered, but does well to recover. That is brilliant. There comes the shot! But straight to the goalkeeper. See Lalrin Loa putting up a single-handed, a solitary act of heroic display there. Kick it, taken quickly enough. Another gentle ball forward, straight to the goalkeeper. That does well. Fine setup! Opportunity, but then trying to take it along the floor, trying to convert it. Being there itself, I mean, being on the run, it isn't the easiest of chances. Would have been a sensational, it would have been an electric chance indeed. But then I think you have to find your openings. Again, a crucial save there from Lalrem Ruata at the moment. Both the goalkeepers know that they will need their best foot forward. Electric Veng Futsal Club. What's good about them is that they don't give in so easily. Here's Peter. Peter sets it up on the left. What a finish! That's... feels like it was stage produced, the way they finished things off. Picture perfect touches. Picture perfect finish. And that's like every pass was an artistic touch. And Peter, the man who emanated the move, eventually at the receiving end of the pass from came Mama. And Peter pokes it home. 3 minutes to go. And FC Thyristor Ramlun Venglai has found their noses ahead once again. We were talking about the next goal has arrived. And this can very well be the definition. This can very well be the game changer. What a topsy-turvy battle. What an high-octane encounter. Can Electric Veng score a number 4 here? At the moment, this is going to be intriguing. That's another fine ball onto the far right. Shooting chance! Goal number 5! Ramlung Venglai may have put this game to bed once and for all. And it looks like it is Vincent who's pocketed the brace. 2 quick goals in a span of, 20 seconds. And Thyristor Ramlung Venglai may have already sniffed out the semi-finals. That's drama. That's cinema. What a delivery. What a finish. Absolutely glorious. Class. Absolute class from FC Thyristor Ramlun Venglai. And they can now celebrate. They can now get themselves once again. They come knocking on the doors. It looks like it's a blizzard altogether. And a snowy one as well. Yeah, that should be a foul. That's foul number 5. So free kick now. Both the teams have committed 5 fouls each. 2 minutes remaining. You've got a feel for Electric Veng Futsal Club. They've done so well. And out of nowhere, now they find themselves stranded. It's another lovely ball, but good goalkeeping there. The way Ralem Ruata came forward. Yeah, he had to release the ball early, but he still can. Eventually does there. Back with Electric Veng once again. They will have to score, and they'll have to score early. Yeah, good block once again. Now for FC Thyristor, it goes without saying. They'll have to keep on defending for lives. They'll have to park a bus, a possible rocket, a spaceship as well in their defense. It doesn't matter. All they care about is that they keep things rolling. Pressure now on Electric Veng, the men in blue. They have fought well enough, but the last couple of minutes have taken all away from them. That is what futsal is about. It can change at any point in time. They won't even know when things will change, when momentum will shift, when the winds in your sails will turn into an absolute nightmare going against you. And then it is going to be a battle of survival. Right now for Electric Veng, it's a battle of survival. And it may just turn even worse as well. Another setup, another opportunity. Oh my word, how did he miss that? Should have been half a dozen already. Should have been finished. There was no one. The goalkeeper was beaten. All he had to do was just poke it home from handshaking distance. And somehow Lalrin Dua fails to finish. Last minute. They'll need support. They are winning time for themselves. And now here's another opportunity for Electric Veng to score that 4th. Try and keep themselves alive. Tries to create a pass in the central channel. Denied entrance. And now the heartbeats. They are pounding. Here comes a long ranger. But just wide. Just over rather. Captain finds his way back in the center. For FC Thyristor. 30 seconds more. 30 seconds. And they are through. Another opportunity. Blocked there well enough by Kunal. Kunal, who's had such a good game, is eventually being undone by a late burst of brilliance. Another fine ball forward. Takes a quick turn. Asking for a foul there and has been denied. There's another opportunity. Goalkeeper off the line. FC Thyristor can now celebrate. They have cemented their berth in the semi-finals, and how imperious dominion cast in goal as Electric Veng Futsal Club has been outmuscled, outpowered and outclassed. Let's take a look at this once again. No one there. And I think you've got to understand the frustrations rising at the moment. For Electric Veng Futsal Club, they needed someone who can score, but now with 15 seconds remaining on the clock, it's a game set match. These 15 seconds are a mere formality, and it's Lal Mangaha with the score there. And with this, we come to the end, possibly. Yes, that is the end of this fixture. A brilliant game of futsal eventually. Yeah, still a few questions being asked. I think they're definitely not happy. Is it game set match yet? Not really. I think a few, yes, it's not over actually. A bit of stoppages, a bit of controversy now kind of boiling up. Yeah, that's it. The final hooter has been blown, which means that this game is done and dusted. And FC Thyristor Ramlun Venglai will be the third team to qualify for the semi-finals. That's a confirmation. Lal Rem Tulunga with a hat-trick for Electric Veng Futsal Club, but that wasn't enough. See Lal Rinlua, Lal Chuans Gela, and then came Mama, Pita Lal Rinlua, Lal Mangaya, that is Titia, who finished things off on a high, booking their semi-final ticket. Terrific game of futsal nonetheless, but eventually the last 2 minutes of madness let this game completely out of proportion. A game rife with thrills, a game rife with drama, a game rife with oscillating momentum from one end to the other. A game that pitted the best against the best. When the game started, we mentioned that this is going to be a game, a battle of the titans. And no wonder this game left us all on the fringes. Goals did galore. That was the second goal after they were trailing at one point in time. The fact that they eventually won this game by 6-3, I think that's just a staggering margin. That was the third goal. They were definitely happy. They were a team and always wanted that. But after this, what followed suit, it was chaos. It was absolute chaos. There you go. Third goal for Electric Veng Futsal Club. They were happy, they were delighted. But as they say, you know, in futsal, that you don't really, the game's not over unless it's over. And post that, the kind of gameplay that we saw, that was the second goal for Ramlun Venglai. And they kept on fighting, kept on firing, kept on keeping themselves afloat, kept on defending for their lives. And suddenly a late burst, a late storm, a late blizzard blew away the Electric Veng Futsal Club completely, deracinating them from the roots. What else would have been a better finish? this was the final one. This was the final nail in the coffin. Not exactly, it was the penultimate nail in the coffin, rather. Final nail in the coffin was when the goalkeeper was off his mark. Nobody was manning the goal. And as simple as it gets, a gentle tap from the yonder eventually found its mark, putting the game to bed once and for all. That's the final stats, the full-time stats there. 55% possession for Ramlin Veng line, 45 for Electric Veng Futsal Club, 31 shots for FC Thyristor, 27 for Electric Veng Futsal Club, 14 of them on target for Ramlin Veng Lai, 10 of them on target for Electric Veng. 6 saves by the goalkeeper of Ramlin Veng Lai, Lalrim Ruata, 9 of them saved by Electric Veng. 7 corners for FC Thyristor, 6 corners for Electric Veng. 8 fouls for FC Thyristor and 9 for Electric Veng. And 1 yellow card each. These stats were powered to you by Sports KPI, the analytical partner of this tournament. And the final scoreline is FC Thyristor Ramlun Benglai sail hammer and tongs for the semi-finals with a 6-3 victory over Electric Veng Futsal Club. However, everyone who are still pretty excited, the final quarter-final of the day is coming up. Golazo Football Club taking on Mammalat FC. So stay tuned, it's going to be live from 8 p.m. For now, however, I will be signing off. Thank you everyone for joining in and keep the heat and excitement going.